found a seat, had a coffee, and got to sketching. I kind of forced myself to not overthink, which I am want to do. You know, when I first start, sometimes it's a very clear, I just get stuck into it. Like I had this idea of just people watching and sketching what I saw. And then once I'd done that, it was difficult because I don't want to make things ugly, or I don't want to make ugly things. But then I remembered that I got this sketchbook specifically for that reason, to experiment, to learn from. As I continued, it got more difficult thinking of what to sketch. I just did a stream of consciousness writing thing yesterday with the intention of maybe sketching later. I wrote something about my head feeling like candy floss and about the anticipation of caffeine into my veins. Just had these kind of very random images that I thought was fun to make into something with graphite first, and was unwilling to do anything more about it. But then I thought this sketchbook isn't meant to be aesthetic. It's meant for me to try things. Time to pack up and move on. I had a package that I needed to pick up, so I went to do that. And now we're slowly moving towards the Malmö art hall. It's nice to get some input sometimes. Now I'm in the middle of Folkets Park, which is a nice little park in Malmö. Very kid-friendly park. They've just put out the spring decoration, so it's very pastel. And apparently lots of parents like walking here with their kids. There's a daycare center that's out on some kind of excursion. Not necessarily overwhelming with life, but more than I expected for vlogging. For some reason, when I go outside, I always imagine that I will be the only person out in the world, and for some reason there's other people. The man behind me is looking kind of suspiciously at me, I should say. He's not suspicious, I'm the one that he seems to deem suspicious. I really want to go see art more. It doesn't really matter what it's about, it always gives some kind of new perspective, and I really love that. Trains of thought that I wouldn't get elsewhere. Yeah, I kind of ended up drawing things from life. So like the plants at the cafe and those weird little, I don't even know what they are, but those overgrown structures outside of the exhibition hall. I feel like sometimes I try to be too logical in my illustration. Like I can hear criticisms in the back of my mind of people being like, that makes no sense. And I just want to feel like, well, that's fine. Not everyone has to agree with the way that I put images together. And so to get out of that comfort zone, you know, I have to make some weird stuff that makes no sense. Wow, okay, so yeah, obviously came home, changed into a different outfit. I took some biscuits. The second I came home, I opened my biscuits and huge glass of water, which I've almost completely finished. Still excited about doing some sketching. I want to try different materials in this yellow sketchbook. I'm going to do some studies using these pastel crayons that I very rarely use because I am scared of them. I love how pigmented they are, but they really, the word isn't bleed, they transfer, they rub off. Realized a few weeks back that when I've done something specifically using graphite, when you put pressure on that, it leaves a mark. Yeah, so I've started putting in, it's not that big of a deal because it's just a messy sketchbook and it's more about, you know, it's about building routine, getting some ideas out, trying things that I'm normally afraid of trying in like my real illustrations. It's nice with some clean pages. I'm sure, dear viewer, that you have heard of, if you're into sketching and art and you've been on internet, people will talk about something called master studies. And that doesn't mean that you sit down and try to draw like Leonardo da Vinci or some other famous master that I can't apparently think of right now. You can use anything. You can take a picture, a photo on your phone and do a master study of that. You can Pinterest or the interwebs, or even just like I did that thing last summer in a video. One of the sketching exercises I did was I put on a favorite TV show or a film and then I pause. And then I just kind of sketch out either a detail from the still or the whole still. And so for a master study, you will look at depth, like perspective or composition in the frame, or values and contrast, what is light and what is dark. I mean, obviously there's a bunch of different good information online on master studies. I'm sure Reddit has a ton of posts because there's actually some good stuff on Reddit sometimes. What I'm gonna do is, we recently rewatched Friends for like the 100th time, and there's some really fun just like still frames over the course of that show, obviously. So yeah, if I don't take the time to say it later, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming with me today. I hope it was insightful, inspiring. Maybe you feel like you want to discover your city through sketching. I don't know if there's something to learn from this day other than to like slow down and reconnect with your sketching routine. It doesn't have to look good. It's about getting ideas on a page and trying things. All of the things that lead you to make art that is meaningful to you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I hope to see you back here soon. Take care.